This video is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, so hit that link in the description or use the code Kenobi at checkout to get 5% off your order and to help support the show. With All Will Be One, we'll be seeing the universes within variants of Street Fighter Secret Lair cards. So we're going to be getting Vikia, Balden, Aisha, the Howling Abomination, Imad, Marika, Thaddeus, and Zethi. Yeah, they've all got names that I'm never going to remember, but they are names of in Magic canon. These are the versions of the Street Fighter cards that exist within the Magic storyline. Hell, they could be part of the story at some point in the far-flung future. And that's all fair and good. And there's more stuff being added. Blightsteel Colossus, for example, has been added to the list slot, which is pretty cool and everything. That's a cool mythic that everyone wants. It's pretty fucking expensive. So any more chance to open this is great. And them being on the list actually just generally will bring their price down, because there'll be more of them in circulation to meet that demand that ends up making this a $50 card. Now, for the record, I'm a massive fan of the list slot. I really like it when we get random stuff that's not part of the main set in boosters. Some people dislike this, where they're getting like things that they see as junk or not standard playable. For example, the Brothers War like antiquity style artifact things. But I really like it. I think it makes draft environments interesting. I think it gives little tidbits of information, lore, or mechanics from the olden days to newer players. I also just love chaos drafts in general. Mystery Booster is one of my favorite products of all time. So I love the idea that you can then chaos draft, get a set booster of a set, and then get a mystery slot in there from the list as well. Apart from the fact that set boosters are less than 15 cards. But what I'm saying is, I love the list slot. I've grown to really like the idea of it, of these snapshots of history, these weird oddities appearing in set boosters. My ongoing issue though, it's two-pronged, and I think just fixing one or the other would make the list slot a lot more exciting. Firstly, the list slot only appears in 25% of set boosters. So 75% of set boosters do not have a slot that you can get one of these new Secret Lair redone into the Magic Universe cards, or anything else on the list. Argentum Armors, Blightsteel Colossuses, Glissers, Couriers. Yeah. And that's my other point, is that 25% of set boosters actually have access to the list, and then when you start to look at the list, you might get a $50 mythic, or you might get a Glissers Courier. You might get a Lose Hope. And that's all I'm losing, is all my hope, am I right? There are tons of cards on here that I think are exciting and interesting. Leon Arbiter showing up in the hands of a new player who never played back then, has never played Modern, just opens this randomly in our list slot, and it ignites their love and their passion for stacks. I think is fantastic. And that sort of thing can happen with the commons and uncommons too, right? Artillerize might just spark joy in someone and make someone fall in love with the Goblins of Mirrodin. And before you know it, they're building a Goblins of Mirrodin commander themed deck. That's all well and good, but I just think that these cards shrink only 25% of the time, and then half of them being like literally 1-cent cards as opposed to actual chase or interesting stuff, like commons versus even bulk rares. And then you've got to remember that 1 in 6 of all set booster appearances of a list card, so 25% of set boosters of a list card, and then 1 in 6 of those list cards are going to be the universes within Street Fighter cards. And ultimately that's okay in the sense that there's going to be quite a few of these in circulation. One of my biggest fears when we found out about the Stranger Things universes within cards was that they were going to show up in the list slot at the same regularity as other rares and nowhere else, and my argument was it was going to make them quite expensive. So them being 1 in 6 of every list slot it's fine and cool and everything. It just feels like it's that conversation I had before, that point I made in a video recently, where there's more product coming to us than ever before, but they're also like cramming things full of so much new stuff. It's hard to get the reprints when and where they want them. Ultimately, I look forward to seeing where Blightsteel Colossus' price goes from the current $50 price tag. So maybe the list slot will half it, or maybe it'll drop it to like 20% of where it's at the moment, being like $10 or something. Maybe it will, and at that point it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter that the slot bugs me, because it's achieving the goal of reducing the cost of cards via reprints, which is great. But the list slot has always bugged me as this thing that feels half-baked. It feels like it's really, really rare, and also rare that you get anything good or interesting or exciting in it too. I guess arguably the Street Fighter universes within cards are a much better grab than a common card like Glissers Bloody Mountain Walker or whatever. So maybe the addition of the universes within cards actually solves that issue. I'd love to hear what you think of the list slot. Does it make you want to open set boosters, or do you every time you open a set booster and you open something really crappy, do you just roll your eyes and say, God damn it, Wizards, you're so close? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Ta-ta for now.